In this video, I'm going to give you the 5-step blueprint that helped this creator gain 10,000 followers in just 24 hours. This creator over 25,000 followers in just 24 hours, and this creator over 50,000 followers in just 24 hours. And the same exact thing can happen to you so long as you don't skip any of these steps. By the way, the last one I'm going to share with you is by far the most important. First and foremost, you need to understand something. Getting 10,000 followers on Instagram, 25,000. 50,000, sometimes even 100,000 followers, it's only going to come from 1 to 2 posts. But what you need to recognize is it might take 50 posts to get those 1 or 2 posts, or it might take 100 posts. What it really depends on is the type of content you're putting out, how frequently you're putting out, and something I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video. But I do want to warn you, 95% of your followers are going to come from 5% of your posts. So let's just set those expectations up front so you don't post one time or post for a week and think, wow, why don't I have that many followers? Step number 2 is that videos with voiceovers on Instagram are getting more reach than videos that don't have voiceovers. In fact, look at what's on the screen right now. Instagram literally showed me this and told me to begin doing this. In fact, they've been giving away exactly how the Instagram algorithm works. If you scroll on Instagram, you're going to start to see a bunch of different suggestions like this, and ultimately, these are the keys to exactly how the Instagram algorithm works. So why does Instagram want you to put voiceovers in your content? One, it allows them to actually transcribe what you're posting on Instagram. So whatever your voiceover says, they're going to actually go through and pull down exactly what you're saying, and this helps them recognize who they should be showing your content to. Secondly, it's just way more engaging. There are way too many people right now uploading faceless content to Instagram with just a song on it, and guess what? This type of content is not engaging at all. In fact, Instagram is going to stop pushing this type of content, and instead, they're going to push content that has a voiceover. But on top of that, you need to make sure of something, because 50% of people that are scrolling on Instagram right now don't actually have the sound on. So you can't just have a voiceover with nothing interesting happening on the screen, or you can't just have a voiceover without a hook on the screen. You need a text hook on the screen, and you need something interesting going on so that somebody actually wants to watch the video. Because if they're not hooked in the first 2 seconds and they just keep swiping, well, guess what? That's the reason you're not getting the reach that you want. Or maybe you're skipping the 3 other things I'm going to share with you in this video. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button. If you want to go click on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, I literally upload a video every single day about how to grow on these platforms. In addition to that, the Instagram algorithm just changed, which means the best time to post and the best hashtags used have recently changed, which is exactly why I created a free Instagram growth course. You can get it at the pinned comment below. It is 100% free. What are you waiting for? Go get it now. Which brings me to step number 3, which is that you need to make sure that you're using sounds on Instagram that your followers actually engage with. And there are a few different ways for you to be able to figure this out. First, you could go into your settings, go into trends, and it is going to show you trending audios on Instagram. If that's not enough for you, what you can also do is do a search for a hashtag you're going to use in one of your posts. If you then click into that hashtag, you're now going to see several different things on Instagram. First and foremost, you're going to see the trending accounts under there. Secondly, you're going to see the trending reels under there. Third, you're going to see the trending audios. And guess what? If the post that you're going to create doesn't look like the posts that are showing under those trending audios, it's a very good sign that either 1, you're trying to use a bad trending sound on your video, or 2, you made a bad video that nobody actually wants to see. I'm going to share with you in step number 5 how you can correct this, but here's what you need to understand. If you're uploading content that looks like nothing Instagram has ever posted before, the odds that Instagram posts your content are going to be slim to none. Which is why step number 4 is that you need to imitate before you can innovate. If you're watching this video, I could pretty much guarantee you want more followers on Instagram. And the only way that you're gonna get it is by understanding what your audience wants to see on Instagram. And the only way that you're gonna understand that is by imitating what they currently watch right now. You need to understand something. This isn't unique to just social media. This is like everything in life. If you ask Kobe Bryant how he got so good at basketball, he got so good at basketball by studying and by copying the greats. If you ask somebody in baseball how they got so good at baseball, they did the same exact thing. If you ask a musician, guess what they did? They learned how to play really basic songs and learned song structure before they actually went off and made their own stuff. And you need to do the same exact thing on social media. Now, I'm not telling you to steal other people's content or just to blindly copy other people's content, but you need to at least imitate other people's content. If you see a format working for other people in your niche, give it a try yourself. If you see a specific hook, guess what? Give it a try yourself. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to learn what types of posts do really well on Instagram. In fact, the far majority of creators on Instagram that end up going viral, that end up getting the followers that they want, and ultimately they gain 10,000 followers in just 24 hours, it's because they start imitating people as opposed to trying to recreate the wheel every single time that they post on Instagram. Because if you're one of those creators that's stuck with just trying to recreate the wheel, well, you're probably trying to force people to like something that they don't actually like. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a creator. And what I need you to understand, because this may apply to some of you, is that you might be making the same mistake over and over again by continuing to post a piece of content that worked 6 months ago, that worked a year ago, that worked a month ago. You need to understand something. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all these social media platforms, they're constantly changing. They change almost every single day. And if you don't want to get left behind, you need to stay on top of what your audience is consuming today. Are they consuming shorter videos? Are they consuming longer videos? Are they watching green screens? Are they watching something with a voiceover? What are they watching? You need to stay on the pulse of that. And ultimately, this is going to make you a way better content creator. In addition to that, you need to make sure that you're aimed at step number 5, which Instagram CEO actually says is by far the most important part to getting more followers on Instagram. But first, I wanted to make sure that you weren't posting too much on Instagram. You should only be posting at a maximum 3 times a day right now on Instagram. The only types of content that can exceed that are if you're uploading newsworthy content. But otherwise, never post more than 3 times. And please remember that the more you post on Instagram, the more followers you're gonna get. Instagram CEO has literally come out and stated this, and this isn't the big thing I'm gonna share with you in just a second, but this is also something Instagram CEO has come out and said. The accounts that post more on Instagram end up getting more reach. Why? Because Instagram posts are lasting longer than they ever have before. If you go back 3 months or 6 months, if you posted on Instagram, the post only lasted 24 hours. But that's not the case anymore. Now, your posts are lasting a week, 2 weeks. In some case, you have viral posts that last a month. You continue to get thousands of views, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views every single day on videos for a long period of time. Why? Because Instagram is now resurfacing old content based on things that people are currently interacting with today. So if people are interacting with content like the video you made a month ago or 3 months ago, well, guess what? Now that video is going to continue to get an increase in reach, which is why you need to make sure you're posting consistently so Instagram keeps pushing your content in the algorithm, but also why you should not be deleting posts on Instagram right now. If you delete posts, you take them away from Instagram, and ultimately this makes Instagram not that excited about posting the new stuff that you create. So please never archive your posts, never delete your posts. And if you've gone through and done that for all the content on your account, it might be time for you to start thinking about actually creating a new Instagram. Now, that really important thing that Instagram CEO says that you need to do right now is that you need to be prioritizing content that is going to get shared on Instagram. In fact, 1 share on Instagram equals 400 views, but that's not even the important part. The important part is that those 400 views are going to come from non-followers. Because here's the deal. When somebody shares your piece of content with somebody on Instagram, what then happens is they get a notification, they come back to Instagram, see that piece of content that was shared, but ultimately then they consume more content on Instagram, so they see more ads, and then Instagram makes more money. So what is Instagram doing? They're prioritizing showing people more content that gets people to share that content with other people. On top of that, it's going to allow you to reach non-followers instead of just your followers, which ultimately is going to lead to gaining more followers a lot quicker. And there are 3 ways for you to be able to get more shares on your posts. The first one is making content that makes people laugh. The second is making content that educates somebody about something they care about in a new way or with an interesting take. And then the third thing is creating content about things that people actually care about. For example, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of different pieces of content about sports or about a musician or about a famous person or about a big property or real estate, or it could be about something that you actually care about, like where you shop or something like that. And the reason that these posts do so well is because they're about things that a lot of people care about and that a lot of people are interested in. And if you're not taking into consideration those 3 things every single time you create a piece of content, it's why you're not getting shares and ultimately you're not getting the followers that you want. On top of that, you might just be uploading the wrong content, or you might not even know what kind of content you should be creating, in which case I personally want to help you. The same way I help this creator get more followers, this creator get more followers, this creator get more followers, I want to help you too. In fact, we could hop on a phone call, I could audit your account. There's so many different ways that we can work together you could learn about in this video right here, so I'll see you over there.